Okay, so this morning we are going to show you how to basically figure out what your ICA is. And Crystal, explain what an ICA is because you do it so good. And most people, I know I didn't, like, what's an ICA?
Yeah, so your ICA is your ideal client avatar. And when it comes to marketing, branding, messaging, it's kind of the foundation of everything, in my opinion. So it's really going through and understanding who our client is, really getting drilled down on what they're into, what they need, what they want to hear from you, but ultimately what problem you're going to solve for them. So Eva's going to take us through a series of prompts that are going to help you kind of figure that out, because this really truly is the basis of every business. You know, you can create all the content you want, but if you're not saying it right, not saying it to the right person, using the right words, then a lot of it falls on deaf ears. So this is really going to help that messaging be really clear and produce a lot better.
What are you laughing at?
So, did you guys see that?
No.
Yeah, we could even leave this. This is actually funny. So that she has one of those Airwick random sprayers, and it's right here by the thing, and it just like sprayed me in the face. It scared me.
But now you smell fresh.
Now I do. Yeah.
That is just happened. It's literally like, why are you laughing? Did like something that's hilarious.
I know. What did I say? Well, mom's out here smelling like a daisy.
Oh, that's funny. All right, we can keep that in. That's hilarious.
Yes,
I love that. Keeping it real. This is life.
Yes.
So, and Laurel, this is cool because, you know, you and I worked in television together, and the whole time, like, we always talked about the demographics, the demographics, the demographics. And unless you go to like a brand strategy agency and really get like a brand analysis, that is where most small business owners will stop, is at the demographics. They pretty much understand who their audience is as far as who they want to target. And so I'm going to share my screen because we're going to talk about psychographics just for a second. And this is a really good visual to begin to understand why it's important to understand your psychographics. And the first 4 prompts that we'll give to your students, we'll just give them to them. You can figure out how to get them to them, but we'll give them to you. Doing your ICA also is part of this. These prompts will really get into the psychographics also. All right, so I'm going to share screen. All right. So this is where we picked our demographics to be male, born in 1948, and that's pretty specific, but it just goes to the example. Raised in the UK, married twice, lives in a castle, wealthy and famous. And so this really would help somebody as a demographic decide who they're going to talk to, right? But these can be 2 very different men. King Charles, Ozzy Osbourne.
My
both male
prop ever.
both male, both raised in the UK, married twice, both of them live in a castle, and they're both wealthy and famous. And so this just really shows how you would not talk to King Charles the same way you would talk to Ozzy Osbourne. And so we'll get into ChatGPT and we will go through these prompts.
Like, imagine running your ad set and all you have is that basic data. Like, it's not going to perform, right? It's not going to get you the person you actually want because we're going off of things that are so vague that, like, you don't. I'm just trying to think of like Prince Charles getting an ad that was originally targeted for someone like Ozzy Osbourne, being like, I couldn't possibly, while he's sipping his, I can't do a British accent, but he just couldn't possibly, would never purchase such a thing. You just couldn't.
All right, so hold on a second while I bring back up ChatGPT.
That is my favorite mic drop, though, to be fair. I love that thing.
Okay. So again, if you're watching, we'll give you these prompts, so don't worry about it. Okay. So first thing, and I'll just go over some of the stuff with ChatGPT. You always want to give it a role. So I'm saying, as a marketing specialist, your task is to create an ideal customer profile for, and this is where then, Laurel, you are going to go in and tell me everything about you.
So this is where I say for an advertising expert.
So the example, and this is good, that we did in your last session was for Jay, right? And so he has his build case and build. And so can you see this part of the screen? Okay, cool. And so everything that's in yellow is what you need to fill in. So the example would
so
be,
it's about my customer profile.
yes. So we're going after we're going to create your ideal client avatar.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so let me go back to chat. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So as a marketing specialist, your task is to create an ideal customer profile for consultants or service providers.
Well, it's going to be specific to you. So for a consultant.
Yep.
And service provider.
Yep. Who has a premium offer that they sell through a book a call funnel.
It's called, is this your $7 or Lean on Laurel?
Lean on Laurel.
The service she provides, the services are
one-on-one consulting through Voxer, which is a walkie-talkie app.
What are the services before you get into like the actual tools that you use? Like what are the consulting? Like what do you consult on?
Okay, so the services she provides are one-on-one consulting on content creation, advertising strategy, and optimizing a sales funnel.
Second, I'm gonna just get rid of this walkie-talkie thing. So for now. Her expertise is in promos and Facebook ad strategy.
Yeah, and YouTube, Facebook and YouTube ad strategy.
Facebook and YouTube ad strategies. Talk about your just because I want to put in here that the because again, the more information we can give this, the better. So Crystal, you can jump into to ask questions. Like your $7, it's not the same clients, but you are going to be taking from that group. So tell me just what you offer to the $7 people, so I can just put that in as the not what you offer, but as far as the expertise, like what you help them with. So content creation, let's just go into the content creation.
Okay.
Content, Laurel, helps create, is Facebook and YouTube video shorts.
It would be video. I would leave it at videos because I do both.
Okay, great. Under the content helps create our videos used to help
Client and help clients get clients.
help clients. That's good. Get clients.
I would maybe talk a little bit about the type of people you're looking to work with. So like mid to enterprise level businesses obviously wouldn't be a good fit. So identifying like this person should be a solopreneur, small business owner, you know, kind of in the smaller stages of growth.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I guess I thought that's why I guess I thought at the top we were writing for a consultant and service provider because those are the two people that I service.
No, but this is your ICA, so that's where we say that that's what you're doing. So it's very much geared towards, again, like if I show you, because I think it always helps to see. So for your client, Jay, when we did this, he is an online program that teaches kids online self-mastery, leadership skills, and how to make better decisions. The class creates a journey for kids to help them understand self-awareness, leadership, and provide them with emotional intelligence, financial literacy.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, so even though like we're doing it for you or with you, we still treat GPT as if you're doing it by yourself. So you're looking for your people.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. So you really got to describe you, like everything that you do, how this is going to help. Let me just read that again, just because I think you'll start coming up with ideas. I'll start where I left off. So, and provide emotional intelligence, literacy, conflict management. So we're being very specific about what his program gives to these students. They teach everything that is not taught in schools. The parent, and this is what Crystal was getting into. Now let's describe your ideal client is into self-development themselves, and they want to pass this along their skills to their kids and help set them up for success in the future. They do not want to teach the kids these skills themselves because it comes across as a lecture. So he's kind of learned that's a pain point. This will help the parent with communication. So we get into what it will help. So we'll get into that later. So Crystal, write that as a note, that what does it help them with? Allows the parents and the children to have a common language. So let's get some positive things. Over time, it creates comfort level and improves the family dynamic. It helps parents worry less about the future of the children. It also allows the relationship to be authentic. So that's what we need from you. As a marketing specialist, your task is to create an ideal for a consultant and service provider who has a premium offer that they sell through a book a call funnel. It's called Lean on Laurel. The services she provides are one-on-one consulting on content creation, advertising strategy, and optimizing a sales funnel. Her expertise is in promos on Facebook and YouTube ad strategies. The content Laurel helps create are videos used to help clients get clients. Her ideal client.
So even though we're running, I just want to clarify, even though we're running through these prompts to like define our ideal client, we still kind of know, like it kind of comes back to that demographic theoretical. Like I kind of know who I'm going after, but we're going to use these to like really nail it down.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. So who are your ideal clients?
So my ideal clients are consultants or service providers who want to scale their business to 6 to 7 figures. But as a solopreneur, not grow an actual company with employees.
Oh, that's good. Okay. They typically are somewhat successful, right? Like you're getting, because you charge, they typically are successful.
Yep. And already making at least 8,000 a month.
Okay, that's great information.
Mhm.
And what do they need help with? Like, what is stopping them? Like, where are they running into roadblocks that they need to hire you?
Yep. So most of my clients don't know the right words to say in order to describe what they do and how they can, and what problems they actually solve. Yeah, they're not clear on what problems they solve, nor do they know how to phrase their actual offer.
I'm saying Laurel is an expert in promo writing with
I'd say copywriting.
Okay. With over 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
making this up, but I figure 20 years working in television on writing promos.
Yeah.
I don't really know how that will go into, but you never know what it will do. Okay.
You could say on television with writing commercials. I think it would probably.
Oh yeah, that would actually.
I don't think people know the difference between.
Nope, you're right. Thank you. Curse of knowledge. Okay.
The rocky road.
When people sign up for her program, Lean on Laurel, they will receive help with copywriting,
Mm-hmm.
Which includes worksheets, templates. Again, the more stuff we put at the top here, the better it gets down. This is the longest
They will
one.
receive help with copywriting, which includes worksheets, templates, and personalized and one-on-one consulting, I guess. One-on-one.
Go back to that. Keep that thought.
Yep.
And step-by-step video.
Oh, I see.
And step-by-step, along with one-on-one help from Laurel. Okay. Anything else?
No, that looks pretty complete.
All right.
Way more detail than I thought we were going to go into, for sure.
The more you put in this first prompt, and we can go back, and that's the thing just for your students watching to know, if you have ChatGPT 4, you can go back and add information and it will change the output. Okay.
It's really
right.
important to look at this like you're talking to someone, right? So like treat GPT like someone that you're hiring to do this. What information would you give them? You know, in that initial meeting, you tell them everything about you so that they can do their job as best they can.
All right, I'm going to fix this right on here because I'm just going to copy it. So then the next part of the prompt is your profile should be detailed and use a combination of demographics, psychographics, and behavioral data, which is basically behavioral graphics, to identify the target market, their interest, and their yearly income. Please provide a clear and concise response that highlights the key characteristics of the ideal customer. You should focus on providing detailed description of the target market, including blah, blah, blah. We'll go down to all this stuff because, again, we'll provide these. What's the worst case scenario if they don't opt into Lean on Laurel?
If they don't opt in.
If they, thank you, don't opt in, where will they feel powerless if they don't succeed in getting to 6 or 7 figures? What do you think their main, like, what's the...
If they don't succeed in growing their business.
What difference would what difference would working with Laurel make in their life? What would make it easier for them to not be, what do you think the number one thing is that they are afraid of? What would the difference, could, like, for us, it would be like to not be afraid of new technology, to not be afraid of AI. For them to not, what's the number one thing that stops them from working with you? The money, the like what?
Yeah, so I think most people, because they're not certain it'll work for them.
Perfect. Okay, what would make it easier for them?
Maybe to not be skeptical.
I'm just going to say to be certain that working with Laurel will help them grow their business and not be skeptical. God, I cannot spell.
Yeah.
Of the program?
Yep.
Is that what you're thinking? Okay. All right. So now I'm literally going to cut this from this handy dandy thing and paste it into here. Oh, what the F? How is my...
Try and copy and paste that before it makes you refresh. Keep that somewhere else just in case.
I'm just going to paste it into here right now, just so. Okay, perfect. All right. So that's weird.
Listen, GPT, as good as she is, she's not perfect. She's that person that you're having that conversation with, and all of a sudden is like, I'm so sorry, what did you say? Because they were like daydreaming, we got something else. That's the re-login process.
Well, and it's probably because I've been doing this. Let's see if it kept any of it. No, okay, that's fine. Okay. Okay, perfect. All right, here we go.
This is my favorite thing in the whole world. This part right here. Give me all the as a lifelong marketer, I'm like, tell me all the secrets. Well, everyone's creeped out about Pixel and things following you around. I'm like, I love it, especially the psychographics behavioral data. When we start getting into like where they shop and what magazines they read and books that they like that's marketing gold right there.
And because we're really doing this for you, Laurel, not just as a demo, Crystal, I'm going to ask, will you just kind of take some notes that I'll have you share with me in the chat? Because we're actually going to go through these, Laurel. And if there's anything that is not correct, we are going to change it. Because again, I'm going to build your GPT so you can use all of these brand building prompts for anything. So we need to like make sure that everything is correct.
Yes. And also if anything specifically stands out as like, yes, that really resonates, let me know too. So we can like really highlight that.
Okay. So age 30 to 50. Is that correct?
So typically my clients are 40 and older.
Okay.
Here, I'm just going to do this as we go. So here are some corrections based on actual data from Laurel. Her clients' ages are usually 40 or older. Okay. Gender, both male and female.
Yep.
Occupation, this should be correct. So we told them independent consultants and service providers across various industries, marketing, business coaching, financial advisors, health and wellness coaches, with a significant portion of their business model relying on online lead generation and sales. Some other industries
include local service-based businesses like chiropractors, I love working with chiropractors and gym owners.
Okay. Yep. Urban, it doesn't matter. You have clients all over the world. Income is, yep, we gave them that. Okay. So psychographic, what keeps them up at night? Concerns about plateauing or declining business growth despite existing efforts, anxiety over staying relevant and competitive in a rapidly changing digital landscape. Anything else that you can add to that?
Yeah, so they haven't, what keeps them up at night is they're afraid that they will have to go back to a 9-to-5 job if they don't make this work.
Perfect. What keeps them up at night is a fear of having to turn to
If
a
that's not a motivator, I don't know what is.
9-to-5 job working for someone else. Okay, that's great. What are they scared this problem says about them? Fear that their lack of progress is scaling their business reflects a personal failure or lack of adaptability.
Yeah.
What do they avoid because it triggers too much? And they often avoid diving deep into more sophisticated marketing strategies like nuanced Facebook and YouTube ads because of fear of failure and financial loss is too great. Is that
Yeah,
true?
pretty much. Another thing that keeps them up at night, just going back to that question too, is like a lot of them get scared that, hey, you know, I'm doing really well right now, but how long will this actually last? Is this sustainable?
Sure. When is the other shoe going to drop?
Yeah. Like that their success is just luck and it's going to just stop at any moment.
Okay, I'm going to put that their current success is just luck. It could end tomorrow.
Yep. And they're also fearful that they will lose how do I say this? Like a lot of them are scared that like if social media goes away, their business goes away.
Oh, that's great. That's a great
on like a third party.
They're also fearful that
they're also fearful, yeah, because they rely on social media to get their clients. Yep.
I mean, that kind of is a real fear that they should have, because that's where, you know, I mean, you teach, and that's why you're on multiple platforms.
Yeah.
I'm just going to write that. So hence why Laurel teaches on platforms. Okay. Okay. I wonder if what do you think, Crystal, should just hit this now so it corrects these?
Yeah, let's scroll down just a little bit to make sure there's not any other massive misses. Because I would just say, this is great. Rerun this and add in this information.
Okay. Okay. Because where will they feel powerless if they don't succeed in growing their business? They will feel powerless in achieving their vision of financial independence and lifestyle freedom, which you did just say, along with the impact that they wish to make through their services. What difference would working with Laurel make in their life? Gaining clarity on their messaging and offer. That's great. Resulting in improved ad efficiency, increased client acquisition, higher income, and ultimately the ability to scale their business sustainably without needing to hire employees. I think it nailed that.
That's so good. That's really good.
What would it make for them to be certain that working with Laurel will help them grow their business and not be skeptical? Testimonials and case studies from past clients who have successfully scaled their business using Laurel's. Okay. So, all right. So
perfect. Yeah.
I'm going to say, please rerun first prompt to include this new information. Okay. All right. And this is why it's good not to do a plug for us, why it is good to do this with someone. Because if you don't know what to ask sometimes, and that is the whole garbage in, garbage out, but I do think these prompts will really help someone.
Absolutely. Because again, GPT is like a person. If you treat it like a person, you have to give it as much information to get what you need. And just like I wouldn't show up to, your program low and be like, I don't know. And you're going, tell me what you do. And I'm like, I don't know.
Well, it's kind of like, why I give my students the templates the other day. I don't know if y'all were on the ads blitz, but one student needed my help writing the thing, and I just had her kind of prompt me like I was AI. Like I asked her questions and I was like, no, that's not clear enough, give me this question. She literally answered 5 questions, and within 60 seconds I was able to spit out an exact script that she can use. And so AI is the way I see AI is kind of like me. Like I'm only as good as the information my students give me to help them. So Absolutely. It's kind of the same way.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to create by taking those, literally that template, and having them write their answers. And then you taking, like, we're going to reverse engineer into that in the future, where those scripts that you gave me, and we'll talk about this later, what I need, because then we can create a GPT that will literally write their power content for them, at least in a great first draft, right? Like it will be a great first draft that then they can just finesse a little bit.
Well, and if I can just jump in here for a second, the main thing with AI that we all need to remember is that this isn't a replacement. This is doing 80% of that grunt work for you. So it's not about like set it and forget it. This isn't Ron Popeil. It's like the blank screen, the frustration, the stare. Like this is doing so much legwork for you that all you have to do is finesse, and that is huge.
Okay, so that's great, Crystal. Very good point, because people are so afraid of AI, and it's like, AI is not going to take your job. Somebody that knows AI is going to take your job. Okay, what keeps them up at night? The looming fear that their business is failing, forcing them to return to a traditional 9-to-5 and work for someone else. This fear is particularly potent because it threatens their independence and self-determination. I think that's great.
That's a much better answer than the first one.
Yep. What are they scared this problem will say about them? Many fear that their current success is not due to their skill or hard work, but is merely a stroke of luck that could dissipate as suddenly as it appeared. This undermines their confidence and their ability to sustain their growth in their business.
That is so much. These are so much better outputs than the first.
Yep. This is why you got to go through it. What do they avoid because it triggers too much fear and anxiety for them? Engaging deeply with marketing strategies that seem volatile or overly reliant on a single platform due to the fear of rapid changing in the digital marketing landscape and the potential disappearance of social media channels they currently depend on. What's the worst case scenario if they don't opt in to lean on Laurel? The collapse of their business, resulting in a forced return to employment under someone else, which would signify a loss of independence and a step backward in their career. That's me. I do not want to go back to working in television. Where will they feel powerless if they don't succeed in growing their business? They will feel powerless in their ability to control their destiny, maintain their lifestyle, and fulfill their ambitions of making an impact through their work without reverting to traditional employment. What difference would working with Laurel make? Learning to articulate their value proposition across multiple platforms would safeguard their business against the volatility of the digital landscape, ensuring a steady flow of clients and income. This would solidify their independence and growth. What would make it easier for them to be certain? Direct evidence of success from peers in similar industries, such as chiropractors and gym owners, who have achieved sustainable growth through Laurel's program, demonstrating a multi-platform strategy that reduces dependence on a single one. In conclusion, the ideal client for Lean on Laurel is 40 years or older, coming from a diverse range of service-oriented businesses, including local service providers. They seek stability, growth, and independence in their professional lives, fearing the loss of their business, and the necessity to return to traditional employment. By focusing on multi-platform strategies and clear messaging, Laurel can address these fears, offering her clients a path to sustainable business growth and continued independence.
I just want to jump in here before we move too far, just for people watching, that while this does feel like kind of in high level regurgitation of the information we gave it, this is kind of like asking someone, do you understand what I said? You know, say it back to me so I make sure that you're clear. So this is just GPT going, I got it, I know it, this is what you said. So now when we go on, we know that we're all coming from the same place.
Exactly. Okay, so now we'll go to our next prompt. Okay. Cut and
So the
paste.
hard part's over, right?
Yes. Yeah.
This is all the grunt work. This is the
Once you get that stuff in, yeah, once you get that stuff in and we really go over it with your students, then it literally, everything after this now is, it goes quicker.
Yeah.
So now we're going to ask it to create, because remember up here, we just asked it to do, to provide, what do we say? Is it marketing to an ideal customer profile? So it gave it the profile. So now we're going to actually ask it to do the ICA or persona or description of the perfect client from the business above, what they like, how they behave, loyalty to the brand, and how they conduct business with you. So this is actually the ICA prompt.
so different than a profile. Profile, just numbers. Avatar, persona, this makes it 3D. So going back to like treating it like a person, this is who you're talking to. So if you don't know who you're talking to, you can always go back to this ICA.
And I love how it gives names. So we'll go, because I always create a male and a female version. You know, if you have a industry that is specific to only one gender, obviously you don't have to do that, but we'll do that next. It's kind of the
Jordan.
I know. So this is, yeah, who's Chris Jordan? Well, he's 45. I mean, it could be a female too, but independent consultant, runs a local wellness center that includes chiropractor services and a fitness gym. Might be weird that it does both, right? I don't know if that's too accurate, but whatever. Makes about 120 a year. Staying ahead of digital. These are his interests. Sustainable business practices, personal development efficiency, behavioral traits, engages with multiple social media platforms, but worries about over-reliance on them, values personal connections with clients and seeks to communicate authentically, is data-driven, but strategies with creative aspects of marketing, is proactive about seeking help and values expert advice, regularly invests, brand loyalty, highly values trust and demonstrated expertise. Once trust is established, is likely to be a repeat client, appreciates personalized service and is willing to pay a premium for it, prefers brands that align with their values and independence and innovation, prefers a straightforward booking system to schedule one-on-one consultations, appreciates step-by-step guidance and actionable advice, likes to have materials, worksheet templates, videos that they can offer, refer at their own pace, desires a clear understanding of how services will benefit their business. So if there's anything in here that's not correct, just jump in, because then we'll change it. Pain points, afraid of business failure and being forced back into the traditional employment, concerned about stability and sustainability of their current success, seeks to diversify their marketing strategies to protect against potential digital marketing landscape changes. They want to scale their business to 6 or 7 figures, solidify their independence, master the language of strategy of effective online marketing, how lean on Laurel helps. And then Chris represents the archetype of the ideal, lean on Laurel, someone who is already successful, but is looking for expertise to ensure sustainability and growth of their business with expanding their team. They are tech savvy, value expert advice, and are ready to invest in services and provide tangible benefits. Is that true?
Yes, that is 100% true. Can we also ask it to create a profile for a consultant, since that's kind of a service-based business?
Can you also provide an ICA for an online consultant or just a consultant?
Yeah, for an online business consultant.
And should we make them female?
Yes.
Samantha Reed.
What's up, Sammy?
I actually know a Samantha Reed. That's funny.
That's why I love this, because it really shows the stark contrast between these two archetypes, but there's also going to be a lot of commonalities here too. But you would definitely talk to her differently than you would talk to Chris Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important to remember. That's a really good point, Crystal, because as we begin to prompt further down, you would want to specify just saying either just do it to the ICA of Samantha Reed or just do it to the ICA, because they are different. Unless you want to mesh of both of them. You know, if you're going to do like a Facebook ad or a YouTube ad and you want to go after all of them, you can just say to both ICAs. But if you're specifically going to target to one of these, you would want to prompt it to do that.
Because our goals at the end of the day are the same, right? It's still scalability. It's still understanding the tech. It's still the messaging. It's just how are we going to attract that person? So Samantha, because she's into women empowerment, you might pull her in with a Brene Brown quote, you know, where Chris would probably respond really well to like a Tony Robbins quote or something. You know, really different, but ultimately they have the same goals.
Do we say Tony Robbins on these Zooms? How do you feel?
I am that person, dude. I'm sorry. I went to one event. I did the stand up, sit down, cross the arm, like the whole farmer bro thing. I had a great time.
Yeah, I think Chris Jordan would probably be more into Alex Hormozy.
Oh yes.
Yeah, totally.
Alex Hormozy versus Brene Brown. That's a
we can prompt that in a little bit because that's good. All right, so let's just go through. I think a lot of these, as you read them, values integrity, transparency, enjoys networking, committed to lifelong learning, loyal to brand that supports women's entrepreneurship and provide value beyond just products and services, prefers brands that have strong community presence, network opportunities, likely to become a brand advocate if the service significantly helps her and her clients grow. I think that's true. Just a lot of your clients definitely speak your praise.
Absolutely.
Expects clear professional communication on the onboarding process, appreciates comprehensive service packages that address multiple needs, enjoys interactive and visual appealing content. Pain points, struggles with scaling her client's business without sacrificing their personal time or values. Sometimes finds it challenging to keep up with fast-paced changes in digital marketing and online businesses. Concerned about ensuring her clients achieve a substantial return on their investments. Aspirations to be recognized as a leading authority in their field. Help their clients break through revenue ceilings and create sustainable and supportable ecosystem for female businesses to thrive. How she serves her clients. All right, so pretty correct. All right, so we'll go to the third prompt. So this we're going to have to give it some. Please provide me with some of her pain points regarding blank. And please give me the exact word. So this is what we want them to do. So it would be her pain points, and I'll say there, I'll prompt it. Please provide me with some of both ICA's pain points regarding not signing up for Laurel, lean on Laurel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or regarding signing up for it, please signing up for it regarding, because your goal is to that your messaging to get them,
well, you
right?
could say, both pain points regarding investing $1,500 a month for Lean on Laurel.
Perfect. The more specific, the better. Investing $1,500 a month to sign up for Lean on Laurel.
Yeah.
Please use the exact words. What was it? Chris and Samantha?
Mm-hmm.
This is so good because this is where we can really get into like addressing the pushback. I think it's so funny. I think a lot of people don't like to challenge themselves by asking themselves the hard questions of like, why you and not someone else? And so this kind of like allows them to face that. I always say like in a secure way of like, let someone poke holes in your product, let someone poke holes in your service and what you do in like a controlled way. So you're not caught off guard when someone goes, why should I give you money? It's like, let's work through all of that here. So when someone does it in person, you feel a little more secure in it because you've already addressed these concerns.
And this was, and I can't remember exactly, but when Nick joined your Blitz, he had a template, like a worksheet to fill out, kind of asking something similar to this. I just remember thinking like, oh, we could do something in GPT to help people get that. Okay, so certainly. Okay. Chris Jordan's pain points. So this would be Chris Jordan. I'm just not sure I can justify $1,500 a month price tag. I mean, what if you don't see a return on investment quickly? I've got enough overhead as it is, and throwing money at another strategy without guarantees is a tough call to make. Plus, if I'm already doing well, how much better can this make my business? I've seen a lot of experts come and go each time. It's the same pitch, invest in this and you'll see your business grow. I've burnt cash on strategies that just don't pan out. How do I know Lean on Laurel isn't just another high promise, low delivery program? Samantha, the cost is steep, especially when I'm already investing in multiple areas of my business. $1,500 a month could go towards so many things. Is this the best use of my resources? I need to ensure that every dollar I spend is going to make a significant impact on me and my clients. I work with female entrepreneurs every day who are cautious about where they put their money. They trust me to guide them. So I have to be certain that Lean on Laurel will offer value that I can't get elsewhere. Is this going to truly be transformative or just another course with a few useful tips? So anything else that you hear them say?
Yeah, guarantees are always like the big one, and price objection pretty much. They're also worried that they're not going to get enough access to me.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Some other pain points to include that Laurel has found are that her clients will not get enough access to her. What about
they also don't want to be in just another group program. They want personalized help.
Because these are Lean on Laurel, I'm guessing that technology, they are tech savvy, like they've figured out, you know, you're not going to get.
For the most part, sometimes.
Okay. What about, are any of them concerned? I'm just playing the devil's advocate of me wanting to be in your program. Like, is it going to be clear? Do they worry about your layout being clear?
Some of them worry about the tech. They have anxiety around using the ads manager and setting their ads up wrong.
That's great. Some of them
And again, just for people watching, I think that information, Laurel, and you correct me if I'm wrong, comes from just having done this for years, engaging the field, really having those conversations. But I think that, and like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, but do you feel like there's enough coming out of this if you haven't gotten to that point? Do you think there's enough in the GPT that came back to get started?
Oh, 100%. Because the top two are, how can I guarantee that this will work for me? And two, is this the best use of my resources? Are probably the two main. These are just kind of some extras.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay, so now it's going to just create, which is good. We don't have to go over all these because it will just pretty much just redo those pain points based on the info that we gave it. So this is, again, good because what prompt engineering is layering. And so now we are teaching and training ChatGPT and giving it really good information and being really specific. And this will help when we ask it other stuff down the road.
Oh my gosh, look how much better this is. This is get lost with the technology and just waste my money because I can't follow through on the technical stuff. That's so good.
Huge.
And I love the exact words. I need direct, individualized support to help my clients and me succeed. I'm no stranger to technology, but the nitty gritty of setting up an ads campaign on Facebook and YouTube is daunting. I worry about the learning curve and whether I'll be able to manage the technical aspects. This is great.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So now the last prompt for the ICA is please give me the exact things both Samantha and Chris say about their goals and dreams around having their business go to the next level. Should I put because of working with Laurel or just leave it at
I would even get a little bit clearer. The exact thing Samantha and Chris say about their goals and dreams around not only reaching 6 to 7 figures, but being consistent with that over years to come or something like that.
That's great. You hear my dog hacking in the background?
Oh, I love this already. I love this already. The freedom to choose my projects. Ugh. I feel like that's every entrepreneur's dream. It's like just being able to work with the people exactly that I want to work with. Not out of the mind. This is me getting feelsy. I'm not just running a successful business, but I'm leading a movement. Like my Disney heart. Lead a movement. Everlasting change. Making positive effect in people's lives. It's amazing.
Okay, cool. All right. So where are we at on time? Because there's two things. We can keep going through the next prompts.
Okay.
Or we can pause here because this will be definitely something that we will then do part 2 with the students. And go to show you the how to generate content using your YouTube videos.
Yeah, can we go to the YouTube stuff?
Yep.
So we'll pause. So this will be the end of session 1.
Yeah, we'll stop recording in a second, but yeah, so that basically in the, as we call it, the VEI-10, and really I think there's more than 10 prompts now, but we're just sticking to the VEI-10.
Sounds good.
That is the solid foundation that once you put that stuff into ChatGPT, we can then begin to prompt it to do whatever we want. Like, hey, write me some ad copy or a 45-second Facebook ad. You know, again, the more we give it, the better it is. So we'll take you in part 2 of this lesson of the VEI-10 to go through. And it's basically brand strategy. I think it's the easiest way is where it'd be like you hired a brand firm to really do your brand analysis and then give you tools and using AI to kind of make that happen. So
Enjoying that part of it.
Like, before we stop.
Sorry. Yeah, I just want to point out that, like, and this is especially for students that are watching this playback, that really honing in on what GPT is giving you back when it comes to your messaging, because there were so many great lines in there that, you know, like create a movement, you know, because when it comes down to who you want to work with, you know that there's people that are purpose driven versus, you know, financial driven, and being able to look at that, going through and looking at the exact words that they say, and then crafting your messaging in GPT, referring back to those specific words that you may have not looked at before. So it's, again, not just taking the output and calling it a day, but really making sure that we're understanding what's important and what came out of it, and then how to capitalize on that information.
Cool. Okay, stop the record. Can you do that? Well, stop it.
If I stop it, it's going to start going in the background, and I'm worried it's going to slow down. I'd rather take it into Final Cut myself and chop it into 2.
Why don't you stop and then I'll start recording?
Oh, well, fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, just